Yo, what is good, everybody? Just wanted to hop on here and show you guys what I'm looking at this week, kind of break down the markets to you guys and show you guys exactly what I'm looking at as far as trades. Now, for the most part, I actually haven't been doing much videos, but this is going to be the first video of We Are Traders Anonymous. We're going to be bringing live content to you guys Sunday, Wednesday, twice a week. And you get live Zoom calls and videos just like this. And you know what? I might just update you guys daily with a video just to kind of show you guys what I'm looking at. You can count on the trade ideas being posted every single day. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the markets. Euro yen 4 hour chart. I'm actually looking at a sell right now. We have a great pattern on this. I really like the three touch pattern that we have here. And then we also have the three touch pattern within itself. So that adds to probabilities for the sell. Now, if we go down to the lower time frames, we can take a look at how we were starting to get a little bit of an impulsive move. You can also say this is a little bit of a head and shoulders too, depending on how you want to look at it. It doesn't have to be the smartest or the cleanest head and shoulders, but it's definitely in there. I just removed that for simplicity reasons. But as you can see, I'm in the trade. We're running about a 0.5% up $500 off the bat. Pretty happy with that. This is only the beginning of the week. I'm looking to scale in a lot more, especially if we can get a move down and then a nice little flag in here somewhere. And then I'll go ahead and scale in positions to continue to the downside. I really like Euro Yen for the week. I've been looking at it all week long. Last week I was looking at it. It seems like now it's starting to move and it looks pretty promising going tonight into London session. So that's one of the pairs I'm looking at. Another pair is CAD Yen. So CAD Yen, I've been chasing the last week or so. I got stopped out last week, but I'm liking the way things are looking now. I'm running currently 1% on CAD Yen. Looking pretty good. We have this overall expanding pattern on the 4 hour chart. I guess it would make more sense to move our trend lines, something like that. But overall, we have to target the beginning of the pattern, which would be right back here. Again, another three touch pattern. It's all the same throughout all pairs. I look at the same exact thing every single time. Nothing's changed. Everything is dynamic, everything is universal. That's just how I trade. So, 4 hour chart, we have one, we have two, and then we didn't quite get up to the third touch. We did hit this double top here, which is actually pretty convincing. So that's why I went ahead and sold. Now, if we go on the 2 hour chart, we start to get into looking at a little bit more detail. You can see this ascending channel that rose up to the highs, and then we got a bear flag to the downside. I can almost guarantee that we're going to at least see 107,223 tonight. That's what I would be hoping for. At least we can bag about 2 or 3% off that trade. That's looking pretty good. CAD yen and Euro yen both on the sell cards tonight, November 1st, 2022. Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar, we've been kind of looking at for the last couple of weeks. I kind of noticed that we had this head and shoulders pattern form on the 1 hour chart, and then we started to fall back into the pattern. So once again, we have another pattern, three touches, and never changes. It's the same shit day in, day out. I've been looking at these markets for years. We have one, two, three. Not only do we have that, we have also this head and shoulders that form just above these highs, which is really good. And now we're just starting to correct and we're starting to move in the opposite direction. We're going to be targeting 61711 here. The reason why that is because it's the beginning of the pattern. I really like to see I like to see price get back to the beginning of the pattern. More of as we're in kind of a long correction right now. But that's fine because we have this impulsive move down and now we have this bear flag forming. So I'm in on that sell as well. So I'm in on three sells early in the week. There's a few other pairs I was looking at, but I'm really not too confident in them now. Euro Aussie really needs to get a break to see if we can get down somewhere in this area to take a bear flag for the sell. Dollar yen. So dollar yen I traded last night. It wasn't a bad trade. I locked in about 1%. As you can see, price came right back up and it's just basically playing around. It didn't really commit to the downside, so I was actually able to lock in a little bit of profit there. But I'm not in this trade anymore, and I'll just kind of give this a break and see how it develops. If I had to assume, we're probably going to get another correction within this correction, and we can go ahead and look for the sell once it comes back up to these levels again where it sold off originally. So I really like the idea of a sell right in 148 400 area. That would be really nice. We just need a little bit of rise. So if we can get the rise and then we can get that third touch. Remember, we're looking at things in threes always. So we get a little bit more rise up in here. We have a 1, 2, 3 touch. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Then we can go ahead and look for the sell. Now, it all depends on how price approaches this area to the upside. So if we get like a nice corrective approach, really nice and corrective, where it starts to have smaller candles and start to form an ascending channel, that's what we want to look for. We don't want to buy this if it's super big candles going up towards that high. We want the candles to get smaller, and then we can go ahead and look for the sell. Something like this, I would go, 45 pip stop is totally fine. To the bottom of this pattern, it's a 2 to 1, 3 to 1, which is beautiful already. And then to the bottom of the bigger pattern on the 15-minute chart, it's a 6 to 1. So there's definitely some room in there to take a trade. I wouldn't doubt that that's gonna play out. We're gonna get one more move up, which is fine. I'll wait personally for the sell. I'm just gonna put that one on the back burner for now. Euro dollar is the last one I was looking at. I kind of cleared everything up because, the idea is we need to look at the DXY to be able to counter any type of idea that we may look at as far as a sell on the euro. So if the DXY is doing bad, then the euro is going to be doing good. If the DXY is doing bad, the DXY is doing good, the euro is going to be doing bad. So again, we're going to look at the DXY for this one. If we take a look at this nice three-touch pattern on a daily chart, very convincing, nice head and shoulders on a daily. We're right there in that retest area, so I wouldn't be surprised if price just started to crash out now. We're starting to retest. We're getting the confirmation. We can continue to see that, or it can evolve into another pattern and then go up towards these highs. That's something that we have to be able to filter out once the time comes. So if we think the DXY is going to fall, that means that the euro dollar is going to buy. So how would I look at that? How would I want that to play out? So I can just do a little bit of a live chart up for you guys right here. We can just take a look at the last couple points, the last couple lows that have been formed. Obviously, we have those two highs right there, and then we can go ahead and mark out some other highs right there. So we have some type of pattern there. If we go down to like the daily and I get a good idea of what we're looking at here, I can get another pattern going on here. Looking at everything in threes, obviously, so we can stretch that a little bit. We can kind of evolve into the most recent price action. If you guys are watching this, I definitely recommend following along and doing the charts with me. That's the only way you guys are going to learn. You can't just learn copying. It doesn't work like that. So if we go back to the 4 hour, we just start to look at this pattern for what it is, we can kind of see how there's plenty of room to the downside for a sell. That's if the euro dollar or the DXY continues to the upside. So what I'm looking at right now, it doesn't look as clear as it could be. A little bit earlier this week, I was looking at a flag in here, but it doesn't seem like we're going to get any of that. It's very corrective, so I would just stay away from it for now. But the next level that I would be looking at for a sell would be the exact level that we sold off a little earlier yesterday, and that's going to be right up in here at the 99,500 levels. And how I would actually play that is I would want to see corrective price action moving towards the high here. So something like, let me see if I can grab some price action from back here and make it work. So if we just get corrective movement all the way up to the upside, then I can start to look for a sell to continue to the downside. Not my favorite not my favorite trade on the cards, but it's definitely something to take a look at just in case we have no other options. But I'm sure there's going to be other options because there's more than 20 pairs to trade. So that's just an idea, a pretty good substantial amount of R to R there. I'll be looking out for that. But for the most part, guys, I'm looking at Euro Yen looking pretty good. We're running 0.5% still. I really want to break that trend line. You can see it better on the 4 hour chart right there. Patterns within patterns within patterns. CAD Yen, another pair that I want to see fall at least till about 107, which would be pretty nice. I think it's overdue for the sell. you have tons of correction in here. So I think we should see a pretty big move on this coming into this week. And then again, Aussie dollar pretty clean. Just looking for a nice little bear flag there. We're correcting very nicely within this bear flag. So I can only assume that we're going to continue to move lower. All right. If you guys have any questions, don't feel free to reach out to me. Ask any questions. I'm here to help you guys as always. Thanks for tuning in and welcome to Traders Anonymous.